I will start by saying, Miles, great to see you
Absolutely.
again.
Good seeing you.
Great to meet you guys, and I thank you for your service. And not a play on the title of the film, but seriously, thank you. I'll start with you, Adam. Were you hesitant at all to bring your story to the forefront? I mean, this is a very raw look at your life and the lives of the people that you served with. I'm curious if there was hesitation to bring this.
Yeah, there was. It was a lot of hesitation and apprehension, but you know, worst days of my life out there for everybody to see. Different from a book, you know, some people read books, it's kind of not mainstream anymore, but you got a guy like Jason Hall and Miles Teller that are attached to some really big stuff. I was intimidated, to be honest with you. I was like, you know, there's nothing here kind of thing, but yeah, it was very apprehensive, and these guys did a great job at welcoming themselves into my world, and they cracked me open like a good book and read through every page and just made me feel comfortable every step of the way.
It is a fantastic film. I have friends that have served in the military and guys that have come back from the Marine Corps and with PTSD, and that's kind of really made me, you know, think of that. Jason, I know you worked on American Sniper. Your directorial debut on this film. What do you say to veterans that will see this film that can relate to this story?
You know, look, we tried to make a real, visceral story of what it's like for these guys to come home. You know, not what it's like for everybody, but these particular people. And you know, I think my message to veterans is bring a battle buddy. You know, there's some tough stuff here. This is a ride, and we don't shy away from anything at all. So yeah, bring a battle buddy, and you know, tell your friends.
Miles, you and I have talked several times. I'm a big fan of your work. Bleed for This, I told you how much I love that role. I did nominate you, by the way, for an award for that.
Oh,
and the same thing with this. You really just knocked it out of the park. How do you prepare for a role like this?
Well, it was very intimidating. I mean, I think I was the most, Adam was saying he was nervous and apprehensive. I was extremely nervous, man. Just the fact that I was representing a staff sergeant in the Army, you know, and a guy who, when the movie starts, like I need to represent a guy who was in charge of, 8 guys and who had just finished his 3rd deployment and had just went through what you see in the beginning of the movie, something that's absolutely kind of, out of our realm as civilians to be able to kind of live through that, and then you're back home making pancakes. And I don't know, I absolutely felt an obligation to to Adam, and yeah, I just didn't want to mess it up. I knew what this story could do potentially, and I knew it would require more of me than I'd ever kind of needed to reveal. It's really, tough stuff. I don't know how. I'm amazed at these guys and how Adam's able to sit here and do these interviews, and we did a closing ceremonies. He's talking in front of thousands of people, and he's just cool as a cucumber. And the military is some of my closest friends, and they're the best guys, best women, and so I'm just proud to be a part of this.
The story focuses on PTSD and assimilating back into society. So, what kind of research, as a director and as an actor, do you do to investigate? You obviously worked with Adam, but to learn about the PTSD and the effects of fitting back into society.
I started with a VA psychologist who'd been working there for 30 years, and then I went up to visit Pathway Home, where he ended up in the book, which is with another VA psychologist who had worked there for I think 35 years, Fred Gussman, and I started popping into VAs around in and around LA and wherever I could, and just sitting in the room. David Finkel, who wrote the book, did a fantastic job of exploring this world, and he followed them around for months and months. And in film, and we don't have the luxury of a lot of time, so you do as much as you can. You pack it in, and we had a Bible in this book to go off of. So we used the book heavily, and then access the people who were in the book and got the story from them again.
Same thing for you, Miles. Learning about PTSD and its effects, which the realism that you portrayed is just. I had a roommate that was in the Marine Corps. He had PTSD. I could hear him screaming out of his room at night. So what you showed is very real. It was very real for me. As you learned about this, what's going through your mind?
Well, it's not surface level, right? It's not like something you can just take a pill for and kind of wash away those, those memories. That's just, you're biologically changed when you come back and you experience that kind of trauma. Adam obviously was a great source for me. I read some books on it. Jay and I met a woman, she was running the VA in LA, and you just kind of want to see it from as many sides as you can, and then from there you just got to go in yourself. And look, Adam, it's very detailed in the books, and I even got more insight from Adam as to what he experienced, and it's just to really think about how that would affect you.